Hey everybody, welcome to Spread Space. I'm ClairV. We're starting something new. I did a little thing about the functions and I figured that was so cool that we do a body thing, like who's your body? One at a time. We're gonna do our brain, you know what's on our mind. We're gonna do our eyes, you know, what do we see? In the past and the present, what do we see in our hands? You know, what are we actually doing? What are we physically doing with our hands? You did in the past, what we're doing in the future, and what we're doing right now. Then we'll look at our heart. You know, what's in our heart? How are we feeling? How did we feel? How are we feeling? And how are we going in the future? Last one is the feet. You know, where are we standing? Where are we standing right now? We'll do the left foot, you know, where we came from, and the right foot, where we're going. Oh, look at this. Oh, solitude, the hermit. It's like a lot of, it's like you're carrying not only, it's carrying a piece of every situation with you, but they're all tied into like one spiritual blanket. This is definitely the journey we're going on, this solitude. Perhaps this is our body right now, like our physical body. Yeah, this is our physical body, where we're heading. I guess we could say the main thing about this is this solace. Let's just go one at a time. First look at the mind. Your mind is this Eight of Wands in reverse. And what's in your right brain? Your left brain. And then our... So what we have in our mind, what we're thinking about right now, is this Eight of Wands in reverse. Perhaps we are procrastinating or hesitating, or, you know, we're not really sure where to go, like have like a direction. We don't have, or perhaps we don't have an outlet for these swords, you know, when everything's up in the air, it finally comes down. So perhaps our thoughts are finally grounded at this time. And with the Six of Swords and the King of Pentacles in your right and your left brain, this is telling me there's a very great balance with our thought, our spiritual. It's like this spiritual path we're on is going to lead us to great paths. Now, in the left hemisphere of the brain, the left side of the brain controls our intuition and our creative thoughts, you know, and we are being very creative, very spiritual at this moment. Not only are we being spiritual and like, it's like not only are we governing our own life, but we're also like the governor of other people's life, whether we're a father, mother, a teacher, something. We are helping others along our path as well. Every time we help other people, we get like a coin here, and it's like all of these coins make our path richer. Now, in the right hemisphere of the brain, the right side of the brain is our analytical thoughts, are the facts, the logical truths. In the right hemisphere of the brain, you receive the Six of Swords. It almost seems as though you have your thoughts all lined up, just like here and just like here. It's almost like we're very organized. Perhaps this is why we are in this solitude. That's why we are in this. It's like we're following the light, and as long as you're following this light and solitude, you know, we're going from this, what, you know, we're coming from a lot of issues, or where there were a lot of maybe, you know, people around you or against you, or perhaps it was like your own thoughts, but they're finally, it's like we're being carried away into safety. It's like we're literally being for God's ride. It's like, this is our, you know, this slow and steady, this is our ride, this is our God Uber. And perhaps you're like waiting for a car, and like this turtle comes. This is telling you that perhaps whatever is coming into this right side of your brain, these facts, they're going to come in the form of something else. It's like it's gonna be this one thought, but it's actually this other thought. Or perhaps we're talking about your actual thoughts are about, we're thinking about, you know, something taking us into this piece, but it's not what it looks like, or it's not what it seems. You know, this turtle coming, it's like you're waiting for a bus, but a turtle's coming. All right, now for the eyes. For the eyes, what do we see? What do we see? The left and right. What do we see? Looking at. All right, these are the next two. These wanted to come out. These are, I think this is our hands. What's in our heart and what's in our feet. Here we have the rest of our cards here. All right, so our eyes, what are we looking at? What do we see right now? The unknowable. The unknowable is becoming known to us, and that is because we are on this solitude journey. If you look at this card, you know, you see this figure here walking away. Now, if you look real close at this, you see this woman here. If you look real close, you see this same figure here in here. It's almost as if this unknowable is becoming known because you are on this path of enlightenment. Your intuition is really being unlocked right now. You are really experiencing not only the first layer or the second layer, but we're going deep into this third layer, or perhaps beyond the third dimension. But it's like our crown chakra is really being highlighted right now, as well as our heart chakra and our sacral chakra, our root chakra. Now, along with these chakras that are being highlighted, our lips are also being highlighted. So perhaps speaking about this, speaking about what we see or what's in front of us is important to figuring out what is, you know, what's to be known. With this, the number 2, this is the High Priestess, which she is all about using her intuition and getting right with her mind, clearing her conscience. Her subconscious and her conscience are very connected, and she uses her intuition to guide her through her actions on this journey. It's almost like you must be in solitude. It's like you have to be in solitude. You know, you don't want anything else around you. It's like you have to block yourself from things from either side. Now, in our left eye, what have we seen in the past? Where are we coming from? And we received the Queen of Cups in reverse. We're all out of love. We're all out of substance. You know, we're done dealing with it. We've put up with this shit for so long. We've been in this clam, stuck with all this dirt and grit. And you've given yourself, and it's like you cannot give yourself no more. We've become this pearl, and almost like royalty. We become royal. It's like perhaps we're detoxing too. You know, we're getting rid of all of these things that no longer serve us. We're emptying out this cup. Perhaps we're all out of love. And this is what we've seen in the past. Now what do we see in the future? It's like you go from this Queen of Cups to this Page of Cups. So perhaps we do find love to put in our cup. It's like here, there's nothing to put in a cup, but then the unknowable comes now, and then we actually have some love to give, or some love to put in our cup. We're off on this journey to fill up our cup. It's like this is what we need to see. We need to see this unknown, so that way we can start refilling this cup back up. You know, we're all out of love, and that makes sense because of what's in our hands. You know, in the past, labor of love. You know, we worked so hard, we've given it all we've got. You know, that's why our cup is empty. And all of these things are involved. It goes way back to this thought. You're being protected. You know, maybe thought has something to do with it. History repeats itself. It's something about this, all the past, like these past relationships. Perhaps you do have to draw them out, like all of these scenes, and this is you like coming out of the clamshell. Perhaps we do need to ask for help, or that's what we've been doing in the past, like crying out for help. all of these main the history, it's like we're bringing a piece, the best part of each thing, of each relationship with us. All of these pictures are things from ancient, like the wave, this Chinese wave. This was the wave was, these are all major paintings, and the one that really catches my attention is this, the wave. Hold on, let me show the cat. The one's beating out the big one. So I really see this wave, and it's funny because I was really doing some research about this, because you know the movies, the things that I was watching were talking about this wave. I don't know what came up. This wave was in here, and now it's here again in this labor of love. So this painting was made by Hokusani. So Hokusani was a Japanese man who lived in the time where Japan was going through a lot of wars, and they had like this isolation period. I took some notes here. They called it the Edo period, which Edo, what is now Tokyo, was then Edo. So during the time where Tokyo was Edo, was a time where there was a dark isolation in Tokyo. They blocked their borders so no one could come in and no one could get out. They were really blocking against anyone or anything coming in. They were really doing this to isolate their people into not knowing or hearing about Christianity or other religions. They didn't want them to be susceptible to other religions. So this is like the main reason why this happened. So the Great Wave portrait was painted by Hokusani in 1830. Now, Hokusani drew 36 different portraits of Fiji Island. This is Fiji Island right here. You see this in the picture? I will post that picture of the real painting right now. There's the real painting by Hokusani, which this Edo period lasts for like 200 years, from like the 1600s, 1639 to like the 1830s. And yeah, it was real strict. Like, it was a time of deep oppression. You know, they had social standards now, like codes of behavior and all this. So basically had a very good business life, you know, when it came to his business. But his personal life was very complicated. Both of his wives and all of his children died before he did. You know, they all died, and he was still living. At age 50, he was struck by lightning, so he had all this like bad luck happen to him. And after he got struck by lightning, he had to learn how to draw all over again. But he said it wasn't until his 70s that he made his best work, which this Great Wave is proof of that. There was like, I don't know what they said, like 8,000 printed copies or something like this. But this portrait had a lot to do with perspective. And if you want to go into like the deep meanings, like if you look at the image of this painting, it actually like comes alive. The way he drew, the perspective of it, it's almost as if you are like in of the wave. And now this is what we see in the past. So perhaps we've come from a place like this of fear and unknowing, because you know, with these, if you look even closer, I'll put the real picture here. You see the 3 boats. These are the 3 merchant boats that they came in, you know, to bring fish to the market. Now, these boats are about to be swallowed up by this wave with these claws, like attacking it, with this Mount Fiji in the background, the land being so far away. This picture, you know, they say pictures say 1,000 words, and this it does. And the number one word that comes to my mind is here is and not knowing, or like as if it's all going to end, like you don't know. And that's also what this page of Cups is doing here in reverse for the eye, you know. So this is why this is almost like you can't see the future, like you can't see the path or where it's going. Like it's like it ends here. You can't see past this certain point. It's like there's nothing past there, knowing that there's a vast variety of many things past that point. You know what I mean? So we were in the hand. So in the past, this is us coming from this wave, like about to be swallowed up. You know, with the land being so far away, you know, this Mount Fiji, and in our right hand of where we're going, or perhaps this is what I say, the left hand you receive, you get, and the right you give. So perhaps this is what you've received, or this is what you've experienced, you know, your physical action in the past. So the right hand, which would be the future, or, you know, what we're going to do next, or our next move, is imagination card. Now this is the card where I always say it's like a blockage, and perhaps this is why you don't see it. You don't see it because of this blockage. It's like you can't see this path because you were given this, like this something is there. Like, okay, the best way for me to explain this is when it's, remember, just think of this as like the Indians were here, and they never seen anything float on the ocean before. So you were given when the people came in the ships, they were sitting there like waiting, you know, not knowing if they should land because of the Indians, you know, but waiting to see, you know, they waited, that ship stood out in this ocean for months before these Indians even noticed it, because they never even dreamed of anything floating on water before. It wasn't until the water, they noticed the ripples of the water was in like a different sequence or in a different motion, those waves. Speaking of the waves, yeah, waves represent that, the motion, the ebb and flow, the change, and, you know, the waves. So the motion that the Indians saw was like as if something was on the water, which made them think, well, could it be possible that something was floating in the water? And it wasn't until that they actually think, which opened up their subconscious mind to their eyes literally being able to visualize this boat actually floating here. So it's almost as if we have to open up our mind to the possibilities of what could be beyond this point of the swords of where we're going. Okay, so the next thing is our heart, the swords of where we're going. Okay, so the next thing is our heart, or this was our heart. Feelings of the past. So yeah, the feelings of the waves, and the imagination is in the future, you know, our future feelings. So perhaps it was this emotion in our heart, or an experience, an emotional experience that will unblock this imagination. All right, sorry about that break, and it got me confused. Okay, so now on to the hands. What is our action right now? What are we doing physically with our hands? And it's funny because we got the literal hand here. It's like we have this attached to our hand. It's like we're almost like manifesting, or like and this is order. So perhaps we are dropping some responsibilities. It's like all of these things is like something that you have to physically do with your hand. Now, perhaps we need to drop these responsibilities, you know, in order to find out this, you know, like I said, we have to go alone. We have to go alone. And in order to do that, we might have to drop some people. We might have to drop some things that we're doing, or, you know, we might have to drop some things. But this is when we take this vision from when our subconscious mind and our conscious mind actually connect. Finally take this vision of what we see and make it come to life. And this is why this feeling of future now in the past, our left hand, or what we're receiving is this disappointment in reverse. It's almost a similar feeling of this here, this imagination, and since it is disappointment, so it's like in the past we've fought many battles inside our head not to be disappointed, to come out of this. This is like this lotus flower. It's like you're coming up from out of the mud. It's like coming up from a no good situation, but making the best out of it. And like now you're rising so far above. Well, let's see what we're rising above. But this is right foot. All right. So in our right hand, what are we given? We are given the satisfaction. Satisfaction. This is what I see, where you see the beauty in everyone or everything. It's like looking at this silver lining in everything, seeing yourself in a reflection of everyone, yourself being like the I am, you know, your royalty, your power. And this is not only noticing and seeing this your courage and your strength and what you're capable of doing, but this is taking seeing this not only in yourself but in everyone and everything you meet, like I said, and this is what you're physically doing. And it's like you have a rose in your mouth. It's like if you talk, this rose will come out. I don't know why I said that. There's thorns here. But she's not hurt or driven blood. The thorns, I mean, maybe we're experiencing something that's really, you know, you think of love, maybe the rose, you think of love. So maybe we've been speaking, we speak love in existence, like, or something like this, or it's like you risk the pain for love or something. Not sure. Like I always say, these are your cards, so use your intuition when deciphering these messages. Okay, so for the last section, our feet. Where are we standing right now? And speaking of that rose, the flower, this passion, we are right now, both feet, perhaps we are in this relationship with somebody else, like a real deep, passionate relationship, not only sexually, but intellectually. Perhaps this is where you're learning these things. Maybe you're learning how to be more free, or to let yourself go, or to learn about maybe that this is what it is, or maybe this is what we're putting order to, and this is what we're learning. But there is deep passion. It's like we're standing in a spot where it's like amazing. That's how it is. Okay, now our left foot, where we've been in the past, where we're coming from, and our right foot, where are we going to finish it up? I mean, to finish up this, and then we will end it with the reading from the solitude. So where we're coming from, wow, we're coming from this tower moment. Like I said, we're coming out this disappointment. See this black moon? It's like perhaps this eclipse had something to do with it. It's like, and perhaps the eclipse from like not even this April 8th eclipse, like that was really, but like from like 2 years ago. this has been a cycle that's been like, we've been experiencing this like labor of love that is just draining us, but you know, it's been well worth it. You know, with this in our left brain, we've grown so much spiritually, we've grown so much material wise, like we've come from the page to this king, and we're sitting in our like in our confidence, in our knowing. You know, the unknowable is now known. You know, we are on our way to this lightened path. You know, and even though we've come from this tower, it's like, this reminds me of, you know, the Wicked Witch in the Wizard of Oz. You know, when the house falls on her, it's like the house falls on you. And perhaps there's a reading called a Taurus reading from a couple months ago. It's called When the House Falls on You, or something like literally that, like the house falls on you, and yeah, it's really affecting this, like your throat area, your throat chakra, maybe even your ears. But it's almost like we have to be wide-eyed, like, or maybe this has made us like this, like always looking out for this. You know, once a house falls on you, it's almost like traumatizing. Like, imagine like just like walking and then a house like falling on you for real. Like, I wouldn't even want to go out of the house, because you like almost like this, like the Indians, like that doesn't happen every day. You don't see a house in the air, for one, let alone falling on top of you, for two. So it's almost as if this created like some kind of like paranoia, like, oh, like, is the house gonna fall on me now, like in every situation that, and perhaps it has to do with this. Perhaps you were in a past relationship that you couldn't trust, or that you couldn't even feel this closeness, this deep of passion. Now, from this past, bringing on this like, oh, like, is the house gonna fall on me now? Like, is this gonna happen again? Now, we're definitely gonna need this this hard work. You know, this took to see yourself like this after what you've been through and where you come from. It takes a lot of strength, and not only that, but it takes a lot of you showing you that you can do it. After this, you build up this so much, you know, literally, physically, with your hands, like literally built your own shit from the ground up, from that ace to the 9. And it's like, now, after this passion, where are we going? We're finally jumping up. We finally found the feather, or something like that. It's like we've taken that, and it's like we're getting it now. So with the Fool coming next, the Fool in reverse coming next in the right foot, like where we're going, this is like perhaps because of this tower, and because we're like this about this passion now, it's gonna like mess up this future. It's like you can't see it going good. You can't see, it's like you can't see the boat because of this past. You know what I mean? We can't just leave it like that. So perhaps this is what's going to help us see this path. Because it's funny, because this is, you know, the Fool in reverse, like, we kind of like, you know, this Fool has this energy and this innocence about him, but in reverse, it's like, it's almost like the lack of this energy, or lack of direction. It's like you don't know which way to go because of this. So let me get this Solitude. I have to find this book, and then hopefully this will help you. So hopefully this will help us figure out this this path, this lightened path. Or about to make a foolish decision about this. This is number 9, which is the Hermit in the Tarot, which is about solitude and going on this spiritual journey. The Seeker. So the Seeker turns away from life's occupations and passes through a portal into an introspective world. Her quest, or his quest, for understanding requires that she or he assume a newfound solemnity. Instead of jostling life's demands, she responds to an instinctive urge to withdraw from day-to-day affairs for time and face herself completely. And this is what I was saying about this unknown and the 8 of Wands. This is what is on our mind right now. Withdrawing from these responsibilities. Her vivid cloak woven from a lifetime experience. Like I said, you're taking all these experiences with you, and perhaps this is another learning experience. It says, her vivid cloak woven from a lifetime experience will change. She cannot yet know that one day, when she returns to the busy marketplace world, will have bestowed upon her brilliant rainbow hues of understanding revealed from the inside out. What does retreat from daily life entail? A response to a deep longing to open into an unexplored landscape of oneself. The call is as clear as a finger pointing at the moon, which is almost like this. It's like this is what we have to do. In meditation and mindful practices, looking inward restores a spacious connection to the essence of all. Not to mention the connection to, this light. It's going to show you your path. See, it's lighting up this path. This path that's unknown will be known after this. It says, for some, the urge to experience inner peace is so strong that they will withdraw from the company of others entirely. For others, it may mean a sojourn to further their spiritual practice. Once the inner voice calls for a period, of solitude, heed the message. Your life will be profoundly enriched by it. And the little quote saying she writes here is, there's a solitary watcher where the sky swamps you, flushes out the raged flotsam of stale thought. Up there above the treetops, the watcher finds a yes to being herself, with herself. She is alone. She is not lonely. The clear air offers clean washed colors, the lights of unheard music, and the spacious formlessness of beauty, love, and truth. This solitude is freedom. Freedom to prospect, freedom to explore, enrich, and incline us to who we really are. And this is what we need to do right now as we're standing. So yeah, get up and go. All right, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Hit that like button, let me know if you did, and don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, look forward to more, because all my readings are gonna be like this. This went perfect. I also did another one. It was 7 senses. I might not do the past and the present. We might just do one card. you know, we'll go with the flow and see from now, but so far it seemed to be working pretty good. That reading ended up pretty good. Hopefully it was helpful for you too. Thank you so much. Love you.